All right, here we are, TQQQ. This is one of my long-term plays, actually, and a lot of people are actually saying that, yes, you can hold TQQQ for the long term. It's really critical on when you buy it. And you also have to have cash on the side for those big dips because this thing can have major drawdowns. I will show you that in a minute. But in the right conditions in a nice bear market, this thing is going to probably triple your gains as opposed to just holding it into something like QQQ or the SPY. Okay, so what is TQQQ? Well, it is a 3x leverage play on the Qs, on QQQ. Let me just show you, if you're not familiar with QQQ, the holdings are basically the NASDAQ 100 stocks. It is NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, Google, all your big players, Avgo, Palantir, and it also has Costco in there, Micron Technology, Netflix, AMD. So let's take a look at the chart right here. So if you look at this, this is a monthly chart. And if we go all the way back out, basically to the inception of this fund, which was in 2010, you could see that if you would have bought it on inception date, now this price is taking into consideration all the forward splits that it has done, and I will show you that in a second. But you can see that it does have big drawdowns. This is the 2022 drawdown. We had a lot of things going on in the world, Russia-Ukraine war. We had the feds were increasing interest rates, and that pulled a lot of the funds out of the market, decreasing liquidity, that type of stuff. So we had a really bear market in 2022, but in 2023, it came back to life. So here's what I tell you, and you can see my other videos that I posted, what the two indicators that I use to know when to enter a trade and when to potentially get out of a trade if it seems like it's overbought, or, if the stuff looks like it's about to turn a corner and start to get sold off, okay? First off, we look at the monthly chart to see trend action. We are definitely in a bull market right now. You can totally see that. We are well above the 21 EMA and the RSI. So we have 21 EMA and the RSI. Those are the only two things that I look at. Those are the only two things that you really need to know, for a long-term play. If you're a day trader, you probably have other indicators and whatever, but we're not really day trading this. We're actually going to try to find the sweet spot when to buy this fund and hold it, and then just buy the dips. So we are well above that 21 EMA, and the RSI is in a bullish trend. But if you're looking at this, would you want to buy this right here? We're at like all-time highs. There's only been 3 other times where that shot up above the price that we're at now. So I would say absolutely not. If it was below the 21 EMA and then we were starting to reverse that, meaning we had bullish uptrend looking, like, yes, absolutely, definitely go in as much as you can. You definitely don't want to go 100% in. You want to have cash on the side always for this fund to buy the dips, to buy the big dips. And this one takes patience. You have to sit there, and you might have to wait a long time before you enter this fund. But once you do, you're going to be confident enough to know that, okay, you can sit back and let this thing ride and make you a ton of money. So notice the 2022, you would have been definitely waiting for that RSI to get down low here, and then it would have started to turn right here. This would have been a sweet spot to buy right about here, obviously, at the beginning of 2023 when the bull market hit. Yeah, so right here it's touching. Now, again, that's why I use both these, the 21 EMA and the RSI, because look at how high the RSI is here as opposed to here. We wouldn't have wanted to buy it here at the same price or at the same RSI value. That's why we got to look at the the EMA. If it's going down below the EMA, we want to wait until we have trend reversal signal. Okay, that's pretty much with anything. Now we're on the monthly, so you're thinking, well, geez, you might not be able to get this thing under the 21 EMA or have a low RSI in this coming year. I mean, 2026 probably is going to be a decent bullish year, probably not as aggressive as 2023, although it could be. We don't know yet. It's only the first week of January in the books, but We came off a really volatile 2025. If you don't remember August 7th and 8th, that time period was the bottom for the tariff scare. Everybody was panicking and the market got pushed way down. And of course, that would have been an awesome time to buy. So when people are panicking and the market's dropping, that's when I get excited. I wait for those moments because honestly, if you look, there's only like been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you want to count that little dip there, 6 opportunities in the entire lifespan since 2010. That's 15 years. You only have 5 or 6 opportunities, but wow, can they make you a ton of money? And let me show you that. So this is totalreturns.com. This is when, all the dividends reinvested. And yes, TQQQ does pay dividends. They pay quarterly. Not a whole lot, not even enough to even matter, but you have a couple, 2, 3, 4, 10 million in this thing. Yeah, it'll be an extra $100, whatever. Anyway, look at this. From the inception, you would have, if you put 10 grand in and didn't touch it, you just bought it at inception and held it till today, you would have 1.7 million bucks, as opposed to just the regular Qs, which that same amount would have only gave you $100,000. Now, here are the returns annually. So far, we're up 4.3% as opposed to 1.4. Here, last year, in 2025, instead of 17%, it basically didn't, So are you going to get 3x returns on this? Not always. It does reset daily. So you're not going to get, like, after a full year, volatility decay does play a part on in this, or to where you can't really say, okay, I'm going to get 3x the return of QQQ per year. That's not going to happen over the long term, but it definitely, actually maybe on the long, and again, it's going to depend on when you buy this fund to what your returns are looking like. So look at this, 36% downturn for the Q, but only 80% for TQQQ. So that's not actually a 3x, difference in the down or the dip of QQQ. But here we had, this would have been should have been 80 if we were 3xing. Or no, 60. So it did more than 3x. So anyway, that's what I'm going to tell you on how to play the TQQQ. And so let's look at, if you want to get into it this year, this is my advice, not financial advice. I'm sorry, it's not my advice. This is just my opinion. I would wait until the weekly and see if it can get down below, if it dips below the 21 EMA on the weekly chart, then that would be a good entry. And then, of course, you want to buy it or sell off, possibly, if it gets, the RSI gets, like 79.80, if it starts to look like it's overbought. But again, you want to do that long-term hold position looking at the monthly chart. So that is it. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions on any of this stuff, and leave me your opinion. Are you swing trading, or are you holding TQQQ for the long haul? Let me know. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.